Welcome, everyone. I'm Kasaya Setnar with Genetic LifeSpan. Today is part 2 of our cell detox series. In part 1, we talked about why detoxification matters and how stress and toxins and everyday exposures impact how our cells function. So today, we're going to be taking a deeper conversation with our scientific advisory board member and formulator of our Live and Gene Cell Detox product, Dr. Laura Capina. Dr. Laura is a doctor of Chinese medicine, a licensed acupuncturist, herbalist, nutritionist, and longevity expert who has spent decades helping people optimize health at the cellular level. She brings a unique blend of traditional healing wisdom and modern nutritional science to our conversation. So thank you for joining us today, Dr. Laura.
Thank you for having me again. Hi, guys.
It's a pleasure. Yeah. And to everyone who's joining us live today, thank you for being here. And if you're watching the replay, thank you. So Dr. Laura, for someone who missed part 1, why should the average person care about detoxing?
Okay, so last week we talked about the modern toxicity crisis. We discussed how our ancestors lived in a very different environment and how today's world exposes us to thousands of chemicals, heavy metals, plastics, microbial toxins, and other stressors our biology was never designed to encounter, right? You remember that. I talked in depth about forever chemicals and all the things and where they're hiding and why detox is so important. And you should go back and listen to that if you missed it. I think it's very, very important. And today, we're going to talk about the sciences of detox and the 5 detox systems every practitioner should understand. Why does the body actually eliminate toxins? How does the body eliminate toxins? Because detox is not just taking a one supplement or one cleanse. It's not something we do once or twice a year. Detox is a biological process happening every second of every day. Many people think detox only happens in the liver. And detox is actually a coordinated process involving multiple systems working together. Even if one of those systems is compromised, detox may become less efficient. Today, I'll talk about the 5 major detox systems and why understanding them is essential for both practitioners and patients. We can go to the next slide. So, colon and elimination, the first system, okay? One of the biggest misconceptions, again, about detox, it's that it's a single event. But as I just mentioned, detox is a process. Every successful detox must include 3 critical steps. First, toxins must be mobilized. In other words, they need to be released from tissues where they may have accumulated. Second, those toxins need to be bound. Otherwise, they remain free to circulate through the body. Third, they must be eliminated through the colon, bile, urine, sweat, and other detox pathways. This is where many detox programs fall short. They focus on mobilizing toxins but don't support binding or elimination. So think about it like you're cleaning your garage and you gather all the trash into the middle of the room, but then you never take it outside. Have you really cleaned the garage? Not, right? So the toxin that is mobilized but not eliminated is not truly detox. We can move to the next slide. Okay. Oh, let's go to the previous one. Talking about the colon a little bit more, okay? So actually, when most people think about detox, they usually think about just the liver, right? But one of the most important detox organs is actually the colon. So the liver can process toxins beautifully. It can package them into the bile and send them into the digestive tract. But if those toxins are not eliminated, they may be reabsorbed back into circulation. This process is called enterohepatic recirculation. So basically, the body can recycle these toxins. So digestive tract receives them, but instead of leaving the body, they may be reabsorbed again and sent back to the liver. This is one of the reasons why elimination matters so much. A person may have excellent liver function, but if the bowel movements are sluggish, detox may become less efficient. So the toxins have to leave the body through the colon. Now we can move to the next slide. So the liver and gallbladder. So if the colon is responsible for eliminating toxins, liver is responsible for processing them. Liver is often called the body's master detox organ. Liver performs more than 500 known functions. But let's see. So the liver produces bile and gallbladder stores bile, right? So especially every time you eat fats, the liver is going to start producing bile, and the gallbladder is gonna release this bile for digesting these fats. If this function is compromised, these fats are going to start accumulating in the body, and causing a lot of symptoms where people are going to have a lot of symptoms from liver and gallbladder, that kind of like digestive symptoms. We can move to the next slide. Okay, so heavy metals. So the heavy metals is actually very, very interesting. Okay, so like, unlike many toxins that are broken down and eliminated, heavy metals are elements. The body can't chemically destroy them. It can only store them, bind them, and eliminate them. Heavy metals enter the body from so many different sources, right? So mercury, they found in seafood, teeth fillings, lead may come from old pipes, paint, environmental exposure, cadmium, arsenic. And one of the challenges with heavy metals is that they accumulate over time. Small exposures may not seem so significant today, but over the years or decades, the total burden increases and increases. And heavy metals have a particular affinity for tissues. They accumulate in the brain, liver, kidneys, bones, connective tissue. So what makes this especially challenging is that standard blood tests can often reflect recent exposure, not necessarily what has been stored in tissues for years. That's why AgeCode test is so amazing, because it shows what's been happening in the body in months, or maybe even in many years. Actually, I know we say that in the last few months, but I saw exposures where somebody had even when they were a child, living next to the factory, and it shows inside in their DNA. So that's the thing about heavy metals. They may accumulate slowly. Symptoms may appear years later, and supporting detox helps the body manage the burden before it becomes overwhelming. We can move to the next slide. Parasites, biofilms, and microbial burden. So when people hear about parasites, they often think of something exotic that only occurs in the developing countries, in the third world countries. And But actually, in reality, global travel, pets, cats, dogs, food exposure, water exposure, environmental contact, all increase opportunities for this kind of microbial exposure. And almost everybody has some type of parasites in their body, more or less. So, and one of the reasons these organisms can be difficult to address is called something called biofilms. Think of biofilms as a protective shield. Microorganisms can create a slimy matrix that helps them adhere to surfaces and protect themselves from our immune system that tries to attack it. So in nature, we see biofilms actually everywhere. They form on rocks, in streams. They are far, like we can see them on like a boat docks. Even they can form in our teeth, like as a dental plaque. So microbes have been using biofilms as a survival strategy for millions of years. So that's why some of the ingredients in our amazing cell detox formula addresses these biofilms. We're gonna talk more about the ingredients next week, a really deep dive in each ingredient. But I wanted to mention that destroying these biofilms are very, very, very important. So we can move to the next slide. Kasaya, yeah. Okay, so what do we have here? So why many people never fully detox? Okay. So at this point, you can see why detox is often more complicated than people think, right? Many patients are doing detox programs, but still aren't getting the results they expected. Why? Because detox is only as strong as its weakest link. Think of a detox like a highway system. If one major freeway is closed, traffic backs up everywhere else. The same thing can happen in the body. Patient may have excellent liver support, but if they are constipated, toxins may not leave efficiently. Patient may have regular bowel movements, but if the bile flow is sluggish, toxins may not reach the digestive tract efficiently. Patient may have a good liver function, but microbial burden and biofilms may continue adding stress to the system. Right? So another often overlooked factor is nutrient status, because detox is an energy intensive process. The body requires amino acids, minerals, antioxidants, B vitamins, and many other nutrients to support these kind of detox pathways. So this is why two people can follow the exact same detox program but get very different results. Maybe one person's pathways are open, the other may be partially blocked. So the goal is not simply to stimulate a detox. The goal is to support all of the systems involved so the body can do what it was designed to do. And also, some people have certain gene variants, as we know from taking the amazing AgeCode test, right? So if people have MTHFR gene variant, the body has a harder time making glutathione. Glutathione is very much helping the body detox as well. So some people, how come like two people do the same detox program, but one person has a harder time? They might have an MTHFR gene variant or other gene variants like PNPLA3, like a liver disease gene, where liver is really suffering already, right? So two people are not the same. So you cannot effectively detox if one of the major detox pathways is compromised. I keep repeating that, but that's very important. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, cellular detox and proteolytic enzymes. This is so great. So far we talked about detox at the organ level, right? The colon, the liver, the microbiome, the heavy metals. But the detox also occurs at the cellular level. Every day, the body is constantly breaking down old, damaged, and no longer needed proteins. This process is sometimes referred to as cellular housekeeping. It's one of the ways the body maintains order and function. You know, you can be, for example, 5 years old or 7 years old, and you get sick with the flu. You have some kind of viral infection. It can sit in your body. These bad kind of proteins, these damaged proteins, can sit in the body for many, many years, or sometimes even our whole lifetime, and create problems. So as we age, or as this toxic burden increases, this process may become less efficient. So this it's called protein debris. It can accumulate. They become inflammatory. What causes the inflammation? We always say inflammation is the cause of every disease. But what causes the inflammation is important. All these accumulations in the body from all these different toxins is what caused the inflammation. And inflammatory proteins may linger longer than they should. You know, recovery may be much slower. And this is where proteolytic enzymes become so important. So proteolytic means protein digesting. These enzymes help break down proteins into smaller components that the body can more easily process and clear. And some of these enzymes are, you know, most studied are nattokinase, serrapeptase, lumbokinase, and bromelain. All these enzymes are in our cell detox formula. As I mentioned, we will talk more about it next week, but I just want to emphasize how important these enzymes are. And they are becoming more and more popular every single day because they have a special ability to support the natural breakdown of these unwanted protein material and support healthy circulation. So, including the spike proteins from whether it's the COVID vaccines or it's the actually COVID itself or it's the shedding, these enzymes help to break them down. This is kind of they're like a cleanup crew. You know, I always tell my patients, I say, have you ever been to New York? You see New York streets, right? So on the side of the roads, there is always all this waste and all this stuff accumulates, right? In the morning, it accumulates, boom, 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 a lot of trash. And then in the evening, the trash truck drives and picks up all the trash. And then it's all clean. And in the morning again, it's builds up, and the same thing every single day. So that's why we need to take these enzymes every single day, because they are like the cleanup crew. They come in and they take out the trash every single day. So again, detox doesn't only happen in organs, it also happens at the cellular level. Okay, we can go to the next slide. Okay, so putting it all together. So again, when we're looking at these colon and liver and heavy metal and parasites and cellular, at the first glance, these may look like 5 separate systems, but in reality, they are all connected. Again, I will repeat myself. Let's say the liver processes toxins beautifully. If the colon isn't eliminating properly, those toxins may simply be reabsorbed. Let's say elimination is working well, but microbial burden is creating ongoing inflammation and toxic metabolites. the body's workload is increasing. And if heavy metals are accumulating, these metals may increase oxidative stress and place additional demands on the liver, mitochondria, and antioxidant systems. And at the cellular level, the body is constantly trying to remove damaged proteins, inflammatory debris, and other unwanted material. So the body doesn't think in separate departments. Everything is connected. Every system influences other system in the body. This is one reason why practitioners often see greater results when they stop focusing on a single pathway and begin supporting the entire detox network. Heal, adapt, repair, and thrive. Detox is a coordinated biological network. Next slide. So why cell detox is different? Again, cell detox supports all 5 pathways. Okay, so as I was talking about all the 5 pathways in the body, colon, liver, heavy metals, parasites, spike proteins, all this kind of cellular detox, you see that we focus on the liver, we focus on the binders, we focus on the gut cleansing, and we focus on heavy metals. So detox is a coordinated biological process involving multiple systems working together. That's why cell detox was designed differently. Instead of focusing on a single pathway, it was formulated to support all 5 of these systems simultaneously. We have such amazing herbs in there. We have herbs for parasites, wormwood, black walnut hull, clove, mimosa pudica. We have milk thistle, we have knack, we have turmeric, we have aloe vera, we have bentonite clay. We have these incredible proteolytic enzymes, and I will explain them all more in detail. But we have the most powerful herbs in the world to mobilize, to bind, and to eliminate, all designed to support each of these stages. So here is our amazing cell detox formula. And as I mentioned earlier, next week we're really gonna dive deep in the research, mechanisms, and clinical rationale behind each ingredient in this formula and why they were selected to support the body's all 5 detox pathways.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Laura. I love these sessions. They're so informative. Let me get the next slide up here. One thing that's great about what we're doing here at Genetic Lifespan is we don't just talk about health. We are giving people actual tools that you can use. So if you are curious about supporting your body's natural detoxification pathways, all the things Dr. Laura just talked about, we want to encourage you guys to get started with Cell Detox. It was designed to support healthy cellular function and help the body do what it's designed to naturally do. So you can pick up an individual bottle of Cell Repair, Cell Detox, or you can grab the bundle at a discounted price. Of course, if you're not already a free member of Genetic Lifespan, we want to invite you. Signing up is totally free and you get a great discount like what you're seeing here today. So Dr. Laura, if there's one thing that you would want people to remember from today's conversation, what would that be?
Well, again, remember, detox is not just one, once a year, drinking one green juice in the morning. It's really a process on many different levels, and we have to address them all together smart. The world is extremely toxic. And, number one, we have to take out trash. Number two, we have to nourish our body, no matter what disease label they gave us. So take out the trash first in a smart way.
I love that. It's very important to take out the trash in home and in our bodies for sure. So thank you for sharing your expertise with us today. Thank you to everyone who joined us. We look forward to seeing you on our next Genetic Lifespan educational event. Have a great day. Bye-bye.